done. I see you. Welcome back to the channel, man. Welcome back to DONNYLAND. On today's episode of DONNYLAND, brought to you by OG Donnie, we're gonna be reacting to the Antarctica theory. Antarctica? Antarctica? Ain't that up there with North Pole? Ain't that up where Santa Claus, man? Ain't that where my Christmas gifts come from? Huh? That is where the reindeers are, right? Santa Claus is real, right? He's real. We're gonna switch subjects because man, the Antarctica theory, it's one that I know briefly. There is that big ice wall in Antarctica. What is beyond it? Is that what this video is gonna be talking about? I don't know. I could be talking about some completely different shit. But Antarctica, it's the coldest place on Earth. Ice, 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 ice. What's under the ice? What's after the ice? Is the Earth flat? Is the Earth round? Those are some real deep questions. Maybe they'll be answered in this video. But how will we know if we don't start it? So let's start it.
Throughout our world, few places are more remote and mysterious than the continent of Antarctica. Spanning over 5 million square miles, this massive...
Damn, 5 million square miles of just snow and ice. I do want to go to Antarctica one day. I don't know what'll happen when I go, but that is definitely on my bucket list. Fuck. The Antarctica vlog is gonna go crazy.
...of land and ice is over twice the size of Australia, yet it holds a grand total of
twice the size of Australia? Damn, I did not know that.
0 permanent residents. Its brutally frigid conditions and strict visitation laws have made it impossible to fully explore, leading many to question what secrets it may be hiding in its icy landscape.
Before he really gets into it, I think it's so crazy. Not crazy, but like, it's interesting. It's beautiful. This creation, how we're in this floating rock, but like every part of it is different. Different times, different seasons. Like Antarctica, it's a continent of just straight snow, ice, coldness. You go up above the equator, it's straight heat, sun, sunlight. It's, Oh shit, we're getting dark. The invasion.
In the mid to late 1950s, the United States was heavily invested in nuclear technology, and specifically nuclear weapons. In the midst of the Cold War, it was imperative for the country to gain superior knowledge on the subject than the Russians. Because of this, the United States was constantly building and experimenting on all things nuclear. Over the course of the Cold War, over 1,000 nuclear devices...
They really just used to be blowing shit up for fun. Like, fuck, I think I just made the biggest bomb in the world. And they used to do that shit in oceans too, right?
...were fired as part of US government experiments, with few being as controversial as the experiments conducted in Operation Argus. The main goal of Argus was to test the effects that nuclear weapons had in colder, high-altitude regions. With these experiments, an estimated 3 nuclear missiles were fired in the vicinity of Antarctica. However, the results of this experiment were never finalized, and the whereabouts of the location in which the missiles hit is still very much a mystery. Following this test, the task force in charge of the program was quickly dissolved, and the majority of the documents associated with the project were destroyed. Included in these documents was also the film reel that would have shown actual footage of the tests. So this alone is pretty sketchy. The destruction of evidence, the hiding of evidence as to what happened there, is something that definitely raises some red flags, but it's also something that's not too surprising for that time period. But where this whole situation gets very strange is when you take a look at a previous mission that took place in Antarctica that has confused the public to this day. In 1946, the United States Navy sent troops to Antarctica to supposedly set up a military base and to train them for cold weather conditions as
fuck is they gonna do in Antarctica?
Part of Operation High Jump. Now this wasn't a small convoy or anything like that. All in all, 4,700 troops were sent up to the frigid landscape in December of that year.
Bro, the boats, the ships look like they're frozen in the ice. And you sent them in December? God damn, you trying to kill them.
The operation lasted just barely a few months as the weather conditions supposedly got too severe. Which, I'm not sure what they were expecting there, if we're being honest. It's Antarctica. In total, it was
in December
reported that 4 men lost their lives in the short expedition. However, some believe that the number is actually much higher than that, and that in their time up there, the United States Navy was attacked. It is theorized that upon the trip through the harsh landscape of Antarctica, the brigade was attacked by unknown crafts, which forced them to retreat out of the area. The attack was highlighted in a now leaked Soviet report where KGB agents had gained knowledge from US soldiers present at the site of the attack. The US soldiers claimed that while they were being attacked by these hostile forces, they reportedly opened fire on the crafts, ultimately shooting one down into the water below. However, the advanced technology of these crafts proved way too much for the fleet to handle, and they were forced to
So they was fighting UFOs and aliens in Antarctica, huh?
retreat after losing several aircrafts and men in the attack. After the fleet returned back to the United States, one of the leaders of the expedition, Admiral Byrd, began discussing with the media that the United States should set up defense bases in the polar regions, and that flying crafts from the area posed a serious threat to the United States. After these shocking and controversial statements, Byrd was thrown into a mental institution and never heard from again.
Hey, they just be silencing people, bro. That's the scary part. They don't want you to have the knowledge. Knowledge is power. But if you get too powerful, there goes your knowledge and there goes your life, because there you go, buddy. No longer to be heard from, no longer to be seen.
Piecing together the alleged attack on Operation High Jump with the subsequent bombing of the region with Operation Argus, the whole situation leaves a dark theory. Some believe that Operation High Jump was actually an invasion of Antarctica in order to fight off some mysterious force. I mean, why else would they send that many soldiers there? Like, do you really need 5,000 men to set up a research base? And maybe when this operation failed, and when the United States Navy realized that they were no match for this advanced weaponry, perhaps they fire those nuclear weapons to take care of the enemy once and for all. Now, I feel like this theory is definitely out there, but the fact that it was in an actual Soviet report, and the fact that Byrd was speaking out about this enemy and was quickly silenced, makes it still
Those must have been such interesting times to live in. Like, we live in some crazy fucking times now. But, like, if you really think about it, every times we're fucking crazy. Every generation, every decade, every year, just every period of life has had some shit. And what we're experiencing now is just our shit. So are we gonna flush that shit and, send it away? Or are we just gonna keep smearing the shit in our ass? That was a crazy analogy. But if you're picking up what I'm putting down, thank you.
intriguing to me. Plus, I can't get over why they would send that many people up there to set up a base, and I can't get over why they would fire those nuclear weapons in Antarctica for research when they didn't even end up posting any actual research from their findings. And what about the tapes? Okay, you know what, let me chill real quick. So obviously I have a lot of questions about this theory that I wish I could have answered, and perhaps the biggest one to me is what actually was this unknown force that may or may not have attacked the Navy that day. And the theories into this are just flat out crazy. Many of the most popular conspiracy theories surrounding the region of Antarctica deal with alien life. Its vast and unexplored landscape makes it one of the only places on Earth that could really hold alien life that would go completely undetected. Like, aliens could just be chilling up there right now, and guess what? We'd have no idea. I mean, I'm not saying they are, but we really can't say that they aren't, right? Now, throughout the years, many have pointed to things like these pyramid structures throughout the region and claim that they are bases of aliens. They think that aliens actually created these things. And further structures have also been spotted on things like Google Earth that seem to look like man-made or alien-made buildings or layers. And due to our inability to explore these regions and confirm or deny whether these are structures or not, it causes our imagination to kind of run wild with what could have made them and what could be living in there. Now, me personally, I tend to view these structures as just kind of weird-shaped rocks, but I will give some credit that quite a few of them do look pretty convincing. Now, just recently, a photo from Google Earth went viral of what appears to be a spaceship crashed in the snow on an island just outside of Antarctica. With this
What kind of spaceship is that, brother?
photo, you see a definite trail behind a large tube-like object, making it appear that whatever this thing was, it had just crash-landed. Now, this photo has
I was just dragging my meat along, bro. Bad joke.
quickly become synonymous with alien life in the region, though some experts are quick to dismiss it as a rock that simply slid down a mountain via avalanche.
Where the mountain at? Let's rewind it.
Though some experts are quick
I don't see a mountain.
to dismiss it as a rock that simply slid down a mountain via avalanche. It's a really
I'm not smelling what that rock is cooking.
interesting photo that has many who believe that aliens are truly out there excited. And there's no shortage of other photos like this that supposedly show crashed UFOs in the snowy Arctic. Many believe that these crafts are the work of alien life forms thriving in this desolate region. These people also tend to believe that these aliens were also responsible for the attack on the US Navy. It's a frightening concept, thinking that hostile alien life forms may be living in Antarctica, and the idea that they have attacked before may also mean that they may attack again. And with no defense bases anywhere in the region, nothing would be stopping them from attacking, let's say, a research team of ours in the area. But to me, the idea of aliens being responsible for these mysterious crafts is not even close to being the most interesting theory.
Für richtig hältst, ob du glaubst, dass ich fleißig gewesen bin, dass ich gearbeitet
Hey, what are we putting on my channel right now, bro?
habe, dass ich mich in diesen Jahren für dich eingesetzt habe.
I'm not even gonna say what I was about to say, but you know how I and I'm very vocal with my body movements in my body. So you can only imagine what I was about to do. But we're not gonna do that.
Bro, okay, this shit goes crazy. Let me just start by introducing the theory, and then I'm gonna backtrack and explain how it could be possible, so stick with me here. So the theory here is that members of the Nazi Party were able to escape to Antarctica after World War II. It's said that the Nazis also took with them advanced weaponry from...
I actually have read the Mein Kampf. It's Hitler's book. Don't ask why. It was some school shit. That's why. You know, I'm not gonna let you put that one up to your own imagination. But I have heard some theories that Adolf Hitler is still alive, or he was still alive. He was just chilling with Michael Jackson in Cancun or some shit. Like, what the fuck?
The war. Weaponry like flying saucers that were responsible for the attack on Operation High Jump. Okay, so confusing and weird, I know, but let's unpack this for a minute. Even before the start of World War II, Hitler had a fascination with Antarctica. There, he sent multiple fleets to survey the landscape and supposedly look for margarine fat due to the fact that the country's supply would soon be cut off during the war. On these missions, it is theorized that Hitler saw an opportunity, as a vast continent provided the perfect conditions for a hideout should things go wrong. Now, fast forwarding a bit here to the actual war, it is no secret that Nazis were innovators and they were obsessed with creating new and crazy technology. These technologies included things like wonder weapons and all sorts of other shocking and disturbing things. And it is believed that at one point the Nazis set their sights on creating an advanced aircraft that would be ultra powerful and especially difficult to bring down. These crafts would
So the Nazis created aliens is basically what you're saying, huh?
have been something completely new to our world if they were actually able to create them. And in this theory, believers claim that they actually did. They believe that the Nazis were able to build these flying saucers in secret and use their overpowered weaponry to defeat their enemies. And looking at all the other crazy stuff that they were able to invent, I mean, it's still improbable, but it's definitely not impossible that they were actually able to accomplish something like this. Okay, so if they had this advanced weaponry, how did they end up in Antarctica? Well, perhaps after World War II had ended, the remaining Nazis fled their homeland to avoid persecution and landed in Antarctica, where they likely would have never been found. And the idea of Nazi soldiers and officials is...
How long is that flight from Germany to Antarctica, bro? In a fucking uncharted aircraft that has never been used before.
Escaping Germany after World War II is something that is definitely not outlandish. So many of them have been reported dead, and yet very few bodies were actually ever discovered from the higher-ranking Nazi officials. Which that's a whole conspiracy theory of its own, whether these people are still alive or not. But if they are, maybe they fled to Antarctica. And maybe they took their advanced aircrafts with them to A, escape undetected, and to B, keep their technology a secret to possibly use at a later date. I mean, this kind of makes sense because, as I mentioned before, the Nazis had more information on Antarctica than probably any other country at the time. Because remember, they had sent crews there on multiple occasions. Also, in 2016, Russians actually discovered a legitimate abandoned Nazi base in Antarctica. So they had at least one legitimate settlement there, and it might not...
Damn. These Nazis were moving crazy. Duh.
Not be too far-fetched to believe that maybe they had more that just haven't been discovered yet. So perhaps when the US Navy was visiting the area way back in 1946, they stumbled a little too close to the Nazis' secret base, and the Nazis used their advanced aircrafts to fire at the crews and deter them from coming any closer and truly discovering their hideout. And
Loki can see that if we're thinking, bigger picture.
stretching it even further, maybe the US retaliated by shooting those missile tests in the area in order to secretly and quietly kill off the remaining Nazi troops. It is so crazy to think about, it is so weird, it is so probably not true, but it so totally could be. Maybe someday we'll find out if there was any truth to these wild theories, but until then, many of us will remain fascinated by the mysteries of Antarctica.
The end! Man, that wasn't even the type of video I thought it was gonna be. We talked about fucking aliens and the Nazis. God damn, Antarctica is deeper, way deeper than I thought. I guess that iceberg, that shit goes on for miles and miles and miles and millions and millions. Man, sheesh. What did you guys think about that video? The Antarctica theory. I think we should all go to Antarctica ourselves. I think, Donnyland and, just everyone who's a part of Donnyland. Let's go. Fuck it. Field trip. Let's go to Antarctica. Let's solve the problem ourselves. Let's solve the mystery ourselves. You can't rewrite history. I mean, you can rewrite history. You can definitely rewrite history. But you can also create it. So why not create history? And let's go put an end to all the Antarctic conspiracy theories. Just like I'm putting an end to this video right now. Oh, no. Oshi Donnie, don't leave me now. No. Yup. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hey, man. Yeah, let me know what you guys thought. It was a very interesting video. A very interesting, theory. A thing to theorize. But yeah, if you made it this far, man, I appreciate it. I really, really do. My name is Don. I see you.